Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Today, I'm sharing with you something that I did last week, taking advantage of a period where we got increased XP during the Brilliant event. So my thought was, I gotta grind. Get as much XP within every half an hour that I get with my elixir on. And this was my best. So this was the most XP that I've ever gotten within half an hour. And I thought I'd share it with you guys. And also, because I really want to do this, is I'm sure some of you will have also had that Brilliant event. And I wanted to see what anybody else's best was. I got some pretty lucky breaks, as we're about to see soon, in terms of, some of the encounters that I had, some of the fact that they didn't go on for too long. So let's get into it. Started out, this is me. I was spending half the journey in the bus on the way to town, Nottingham, and you want headwigs. That's all you want, is just purely headwigs, and I was getting headwigs. Meteorologynx Recanto is by far for me one of the easier things to do a masterful cast with, and yeah, it massively helped. So I'm thinking like 4 in a row will be good. This is good for headwig, right? And 4 in a row, then it becomes like 5 in a row, and then it just starts getting ridiculous. Now, I put a masterful counter because I wanted to work out what my ratio was of successful casts that were masterful versus not and failed casts. And I'll put the end result at the end. And obviously I've taken down the XP, so we'll see that on the screen. It's the starting XP that I had. And then what we're going to do is at the end of these 30 minutes, at the point the elixir runs out, see exactly how much experience I got. So you can see here, still getting headwigs. Still just getting headwigs. Huge XP during this event. It was a mad mistake that they put out. It was kind of rough for me because I was working the day that it was out. But luckily I was traveling in between work to my other place of work. And that meant I could play a bit at least. And then after work I just spent a lot of time hunting these down. The pros of being on a bus for this part is that it was, I think this might be where my streak ends. So I get a 12 streak of headwigs, by the way. So the pros of being on the bus is that you're constantly moving into new locations, therefore you can get new spawns. The cons of that are that the bus, it jiggles about a bit, and if you hit a bump, that is definitely going to affect your casting ability. So here I think this is the first Harry Potter that I actually encounter. But it's like dream first cast on it, and it's dealt with. So that was pretty lucky. But from then on, it's a mix of headwigs and Harry Potters, and one that's not so lucky, and then another one which is just, oh my god, when you're just casting away and you're never getting it. It keeps resisting those masterful, that hurts. But one of the other cons of being on a bus is that if it's driving at 30 miles per hour, beyond that, it's unlikely that it's going to see any spawns. My bus stop in the way to Nottingham has a lot of stops. Now, going into the later parts of this, the bus kind of ends at 15 minutes into my elixir. So then I had to switch my play to walking. And I say walking, but it was more like running, because I realized quickly that you can, if I get a good encounter and then I cast it and deal masterful and catch it straight away. So this is the first one that was risking, by the way. Look how many casts it takes. How many masterfuls, and this Dementor is just sucking my energy. Finally got it. That's not even the worst one. When you switch into running, it means you've got to cast, and obviously you don't want to be running and casting because it affects your ability to cast properly. And so what I was doing, I was like casting whilst I cast, running, then if I need to do it again, start cast. Must have looked pretty weird in town, but it meant that I was running into a new set of spawns. But sometimes I got into the situation where, probably once on the bus, where I was waiting on a spawn. One where I desperately had to pick something other than a brilliant spawn. And on the later occasions, it was the case that I just had to run and find a new spot and hopefully some come up. And in town, it was during like the last couple of minutes, so it was quite tense. And then during the last minutes, I was like, I just wanted to get as much XP in as possible, and hopefully just get Hedwigs. But we'll see in a bit what I actually got. So I think we're about halfway in. Oh, over halfway in, 11 minutes. Say 11. I think I'm off the bus at this point. Yes, we're 2/3 of the way in. This is the one that just took ages. Look at it, resisting every single thing for ages. Finally got it, but a lot of time had passed during that. Probably maybe even 2 minutes, and then I go and get another one, and first time. So I felt like at least it balanced it out. So this is me now walking. You can see I'm moving at a lot slower pace, and I was forced to pick a yellow Magical Games and Sports foundable, and it was a snitch. So at least it was medium, so I got some moderate threat. So at least I got some extra XP, but rather than just it just being a level 1 threat encounter. So we're hunting and we're getting some good Hedwigs. 7 minutes I think we're at now. I'm running around town, getting to the next one. And I found like, even like when I wasn't running, if I did need to walk and cast, I found that my casting was alright. And what I learned was that during this event, I started casting in a very different way. So usually I cast like this, holding my phone in one hand and then casting with my finger. But because these two casts, because of the way they're built, I found that I could just use my thumb, because the arch of my thumb and the length worked out as perfectly in terms of the distance needed to just go shh, shh. And for the extractor Patronum, if I went for the middle and then went all around, my finger was long enough to get all the way around, but it obviously, because your thumb has a stopping point and it couldn't reach beyond that, it meant that I had quite a nice little muscle memory of knowing exactly where to go. I just had to fully extend my thumb. And that depends on the size of your thumb, whether you can probably do that yourself or not. The first departure came and we had 3 minutes left. So this is a bit where I'm just like, I want to just absolutely, I'm really focusing on my charms, making sure I get Master Balls, and then I encounter a Dementor and I just can't seem to hit a good cast, but 2 greats and it's mine. Going on to the next one, I get another one and I'm like, no, this is gonna sap 2 minutes from me. But again, I get lucky with a good, is it a double or a triple cast? Got 55 seconds left and I'm like, I just need one more cast, and I think that ended up being Masterful, but it was enough to catch it. With 26 seconds to spare, I'm like, I'm not getting anything out, and then boom, with milliseconds to spare, I'm counting that, I got Harry Potter in 1 cast, which is an extra 1,200 to my final score, which was 98,544. So my final stats were that the total XP I earned in that half an hour was 41,900 XP. I was then looking at my catches, and I had a total of, look at my spreadsheet that I created, 91 casts. 41 of those were Masterful casts. Some of them I really had to slow the frame rate down, because sometimes you hit a Masterful and it doesn't come up with Masterful, it doesn't even come up with a great or anything. So I like looked at the Miller frames, so some of them won't have looked like Masterfuls always, but when I checked they were. But also on the other side of that, sometimes I check and it would just be a great. 39 out of those 91 times were a great cast, 8 goods, which over the course of half an hour, and considering I encountered that many Hedwigs and Harry Potters, I was pretty happy with that, and 3 failed captures, usually coming because I didn't extend far enough on a Meteor, Jinx, or Can type. So giving me a 45% successful cast rate for my for my cast rate for the whole of the half an hour, which I was pretty happy with. 45%, meaning that my based on my masterful casts versus how many casts of just successful casts, that was like 20%, 25%. So it was a good half an hour. It helps when you get in a similar thing because you can start to, that muscle memory really can start to kick in and you're able to get good ones. And I messed up towards the end. The pressure did get to me. And I got lucky on these casts, but my last 6 were all great. Before that, I got a spree of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 masterful casts in a row, which now equals, which now amounts to my best record, personal best of consecutive masterful casts. So my previous one was 6. So brand new personal best, settled. Probably most XP we're ever gonna get in case of half an hour, unless we have something similar in the future. And also they might not be the best. Some of you may have recorded your own footage and worked out how much XP you've got. Let me know in the comment section below if you did beat my XP run, whether you beat 41,900. And that's everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I really was like pumped by the end. I mean, I was like running and stopping and it was just kind of exciting. Yeah, so that's everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and maybe we'll have lucky sprees. I'll see if I can do an XP spree now just off when the brilliant event ends and see if I can set a PB for that, something to maybe see if you can beat as well. Okay, so that's all for this one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content and information. That is all from me. See you guys soon.